Right, okay, guys. Just going to share the screen and talk a little bit, see if I can find something this morning. Okay, so if you have not already seen, you know that I've done a fire entry basket, and I'm trying to get things set up the best way I can to make it more streamlined. And if you haven't seen how to make this yet, you can go into the Discord and you can go under the fire entry drop down and you will find on underneath all the mechanics and everything else, you will find the setting up of trading view basket for the fire entry stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to go over that on this video, but this video is just to try and find the setup and utilize what I've got here. You will notice on here I have got assets in here that I don't trade. Okay, what I usually trade on this is certainly the CAD GPY, the Euro, USD, GBP, USD, and USD CAD. They're generally the only ones I trade with. But I've already got the basket here, and I've got dropped down into the 15-minute section, the ones that are gearing up for to at least alert me to follow with the fibs. So this is just giving me some structure to what I'm looking at and what I'm expecting. Again, the Euro USD, it has expanded out of the system, out of the area. So I am waiting for a bit of a displacement coming back in on this one. The GU, we are starting to get a pullback on this. So I suppose I could have this set up at the moment. I would like to see it come down a little bit lower, to be fair, because this is just wicked straight back up into the 50%. So hopefully this candle might come down and push a bit lower for us. The USD card, again, similar sort of stuff. We've wicked and we've come straight back in. I want more pushing to the buy side. We can see in here we do have fair value in here, so I do want to see this sort of, as it's broke out, I want to see a bit more of this, to be fair, before I try and get that move up to the buy side. USD, Swiss franc, again, we've clearly pushed out of here. I can start following with some fibs on this as well. So that's it for the setups at the moment. We have one, two, three, four, five on the radar. So I'll wait for the anchor to produce itself. And then when I get the anchor producing itself, I can drop these into the next basket, which will be the 5 minutes. Okay. And then obviously we check to see if that condition comes in. The condition comes in, we move it from the 5 minute with the separation box down into the 1 minute setup for the trigger point. We will then turn the symbol flag from blue to green to tell us that we do have an active trade in the market. Okay. So I'm just going to pause the video. I'll be back in a short while when I see any progression on any of these. I do believe sort of structuring the way you're approaching your stuff, especially on TradingView. So when you've got everything on one drop down, but segmented into easy sections, so you can just see, well, that's met its criteria, we drop it to this. This has met the criteria, we drop it to that. Now we're into the entry 1 minute setup. You're not having to bounce all over. Everything's on a one-click system on a drop-down menu. So again, I go into more detail on this within the Discord. So again, you'll get access to this inside of the Discord underneath that educational content area where it says fire entry. Just click on here. This will go through the mechanics and everything. I've just added it to that area. Okay, and it's called setting up the train view basket for the fire entry. So I'm going to go back onto the charts, and I'll come back on as and when we see anything progressing on itself. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, guys. And okay, so we do have the GBP odd. It's came out spiked. It's went up, come back and pushed instantly, which I don't like. If I'm honest with you, I don't like to see a push straight back through to the 50%. However, we're going to follow this and see what it does. We go over to the 5 minute and what we see there is a separation candle. I don't like the look of this, if I'm honest with you, simply because this has just crashed straight back through. So I'm not going to add it into the list. I'm just keeping an eye on it at the moment. There could have been an entry, if I'm honest with you, but again, I'm not entering this because I know because of this spike down, it's not worth it. But there would have been an entry around about there, to be honest. But again, I know that this will probably hit the SL, in all honesty. Simply because, like I say, when we get the volume come back in, we've slammed dunk straight back into the 50%. I don't want to see that, but like I say, we will. We'll look at this. I do think it will hit that. I do think it's going to come and hit the SL. Like I say, I would not be entering this simply because of that 15-minute candle coming straight through, and I think I'm going to be proven right with that, to be fair. Yeah, certainly prove. I'm certainly going to be correct with this. It's got to be because the volume straight up and it's slammed straight back down. Yeah. So again, this is all about monitoring, guys, and understanding why you have the structure and why you have the rules in. Okay. So again, I'm just going to get rid of some of these. We'll go back through the basket on the top where we'll see if anything's done a breakout. We haven't done it on the cards. Euro JPY. We've had a little bit of a wick out, but I would expect a bit of movement to the higher side still. Excuse me, do apologize. GBP. That's the one we just looked at. GBP, JPY stuck in the range. USD, JPY again stuck in the range. We'll go into these ones here now. Again, candle to the high. We're having a candle here. It's coming back down. It's going to touch into 15%. It's not something I generally like, if I'm honest with you, but this is on the 15 minutes. I'm just going to draw the fibs on this. We do have one separation candles. I like to see a couple, if I'm honest with you. It just means obviously the volume and the price is certainly in our favor. I think this is going to do the 50% touch in a moment. Generally, the GBP or the Euro order will move in unison or thereabouts, you know. So I'll just be careful with that. I'm going to Euro USD. We'll see what's happening with this. So I'm just going to follow price on this at the moment. The GBP USD, again, I'm going to follow a price on this. The U card. It's starting to behave the way I wanted to. So I'm just going to get rid of the fair value gap. I'm just going to follow price on this. USD Swiss franc. And we'll just follow price on this. So we've got, like I see, 5 possibles at the moment. The Euro order is the one that's just about to touch into the 50%. Again, we've only had one separation candle, if I'm honest with you, so I'm not particularly. Yeah, there's the 50% touch. Okay, you're dropping that into the 5-minute condition. Okay, we can check the 5-minute condition. It is a separation candle. And again, this isn't one that I normally trade, remember, so there's your separation candle there, but there's only one, so I'm not happy with it. There's 2 things that don't sit right with me on this. Euro order is not one I usually trade on this system. It's not one I would normally recommend. plus the 50% of the retracement has came in instantly and touched. It has left one separation candle on the 5 minute, so I can drop it to the 1 minute setup. But again, guys, if this tanks me out or it hits SL, we just go on the understanding that it's not one that I normally trade. So what we're looking for basically is the condition, because we're looking for a buy, we're looking for a condition of a sell candle, and then we are needing to see a bullish engulfing. Now we're more or less getting that right now with that there. Okay, we pull this down to here. We're going to get the bullish candle. It's going to be bullish. It's pretty level at the minute. Yeah, that would technically be an entry. Okay. So what we're going to do is just right click on here. Can we go on to making this screen bigger? Right, so we're going to maximize that chart at the moment. There's a few options here. We can see we've got highs of the other day here as well with regard to the sessions, but we just want a 1 to 2 to be fair. The 1 to 2 there. You could aim for these highs up here. Okay, there is highs right up here as well, which will be a 1 to 392. Put this 2 and 8. Right, so we'll watch this. We'll go back onto the swing out. I'm going to mark up an area of take partial of 50%. Let's get rid of that. We'll just put on here take partial. Simple 1 to 2 setup. I'm going to get this. Put this in here. And then I'm just going to drop it into the Discord. It's got the community chat. So again, I'm just going to drop this into here. What we'll do is we'll come back into minimize the chart. And we'll just watch for that. Let's go back into the systems. We can make this that one green because it's a setup. We just follow the price on these again. GBP, USD. And again, guys, having this basket set up the way I have, it makes it simple to follow. It's just all one in one drop-down menu, you know. So it does make sense to do this. USD, Swiss franc. Right, let's just go back up onto the top where things weren't setting up as such. We are heading towards the Asian high on the card. We are, in fact, we can make these. We can make these orange because they're on alertness at the minute. Right, so we've got a slight wick up on the Euro JPY, GBP odd. Again, we've made lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So we do need to see on this. We do need to see that. GBP, GPY stuck within the range. USD, JPY stuck within the range. Go back to that Euro odd. It's retracing on us now. Again, remember this isn't what I would class as more official trade. We just want to see how it's going to react. Reason why I'm not liking this as such is simply because the Euro odd, it tends to be the same or thereabouts of the GBP odd. Okay, so again, there is slight profits there at the minute, but we can see what's going to happen. And we'll come back into the Euro USD 15 minutes. We are getting some retracement back in. GBP USD again, it's doing the displacement, but there is no retraction yet. USD card, it seems to be pushing back up. USD CHF again, it's on there. Okay, so I'll pause video. We do have one set up, albeit it's a one that I don't normally trade. We can see what happens with this. I'll see you all in a short while, guys. Right, okay, guys. So we've had a take partial area hit. We've hit the 1%. Fantastic stuff. That's good to see. We just go on here. We just put a nice little tick on there. We've got a nice take partial. And then again, we'll put a bag of money there as well. So that's good to see. Let's go back and have a look on the 15-minute basket. We've had a return back into the 50%. Okay, so we're just going to do this. So again, we've had separation candles there. Okay, so when we've had separation candles, we're looking for a setup. Yeah, I think we've already got a setup there as well, short. That would have been your setup up to here. What the two is a target. Okay. Just make a point of this. Download image. Go to the Discord. This in here. Again, let's do the fib. where the true day open is as well, guys, it's bang on the 50% marker. So again, we'll just do that. That will be your take partial area. The euro odd, we're going to come back in. Just put this into the Discord as well. Let's come into this. We'll just upload this into here. Right, so we're going to the Euro USD. Let's see where we are. Again, this can come into this here. It can also be turned green to see there's a setup. GBP USD. We haven't had the pullback just yet. The USD card. Starting to get a slight pullback at the moment. Hopefully we'll get something from this. USD Swiss franc was getting some a slight pullback, but it looks like it's a slight pullback, and then it looks like it's going to be a continuation. We'll go back up into the main basket. CAD JPY. Again, we are breaking out of the Asian high. Euro JPY. We are breaking out of this. The GBP. We have made a new lower low, so we've got lower low, lower high, lower low. We do want to see some displacement to come back in to maybe stop this effect and start the domino effect for the pullback. The GBP, GPY, again stuck in the range. USD, GPY, stuck in the range. Excuse me. So we go back into the 15-minute where we're waiting for these pullbacks. Not quite there. We're not quite there, and we're not quite there. Let's check up on the ones that have got an entry at the moment. We are getting a pullback from the take partial area. So again, it is profitable today at the moment, as if you had taken this trade. The Euro USD, we take a look. We are heading down towards the take partial area, which is this here. Let's get that. I'll put this here. We are making headway towards that 1% area. It's looking good. I'll pause the video. I'll be back in a short while, guys. Just bear with me. Right. So now what we could do, guys, okay, is you could go on these 50% and you could add alerts on these if you need to go and get yourself a cup of tea, a bit of toast, a bite to eat. We'll just go and have a look at these areas. I'm just going to set some alarms. And alerts. One here. We'll do the same on the USD Swiss franc. So we've got 3 with alert sets. We've got 2 that have got an entry. Okay. Again, we have had a take partial. We've got the Euro USD as well, which is looking nice to go towards a partial as well. If we look at this as a setup, again, there was a short position possibility. Going to here, you can see, okay, true day open from the other day, from yesterday is all the way down to here, okay, but there is a session high area right here. So we can see we didn't return. We had the session open here. We returned into it here, but I like the look of the liquidity on here. So a nice 1 to 5. So here, 3 or So there is a longer term possibility of a 1 to 4.56 on a longer term trade. But again, our concentration on at the moment is certainly this take partial area and the 1 to 2. This could be a longer term direction for us. We'll go through the list one more time. CAD, JPY. We have got a bit more of a stronger breakout at the minute on these are the 15-minute watch list. Same with the Euro GPY. GBP or is just continuing to tank. So again, we still await this sort of scenario to come for us. Okay, we do need a retracement to come in so I can set the fib up. The GBP, GPY. Computer's slowing up at the moment, stuck in a range. USD GPY also stuck in a range, albeit it's heading towards that Asian high. Okay, the GBP USD, these are the ones that are on the fib watch list at the moment. Again, we'll just adjust those. USD CAD, again, we are getting a touch back in shortly. USD Swiss franc, again, we just adjust this. And we just adjust that. So I'll pause the video. I'll be back in a very short while, guys, and we'll see how we're doing on these setups. Right, guys, let's have a look at the basket, the 15-minute criteria where we are at the minute, and then the 1-minute setups. So the CAD JPY is still breaking. The Euro JPY is still breaking as well. The GBP odd. We are starting to get that pullback that I was anticipating. So I'll probably wait for this candle close, see what the next one does, and then we may start breaking out the fibs on that one. The GBP, so that means the GBP odd may start coming in the 15-minute area soon. The GBP GPY stuck in that range. USD GPY, it is wicked, but I want to see some more. I do want to see more of this, to be fair, and then maybe feel to come in. This might be the New York session when it does that sort of thing. The GU, let's just take a look where we are with the fibs on this at the moment. Again, we just extend this. This one's getting away from us now. I do believe there is quite a bit of pips in there. There's a good 30 odd pips there, to be fair. If we do get an entry when we go down into the 15-minute, the 5 and the 1, we could look for lower highs between the premium range, to be fair. The USD card, let's take a look. Let's wait for the screen to stop freezing. The USD card, we are waiting for the pullback. The USD Swiss franc, again, we are waiting for this pullback. These are quite sizable areas at the minute, but we'll have a little look into this. Again, we're not live trading. We're just going over demos and setups at the minute. I want to get into live trading going into next month, but we're just sort of refining stuff and finding better entries and better ways we can go forward. And we've done this today with regards to the fire entry basket system. Again, all of that is inside of the Discord. Let's have a look at what's winning at the moment. We've got the Euro odd where we've already had the 1% surpassed. It's heading towards the 2% target. There's a bit of a retracement. It's come above the Asian session high. So again, when we look to the left, we do have liquidity residing here. This is where the 2% is. Okay, so it goes without saying it's broke the Asian session high of the day. So there is going to be a bit of a retracement. What I would like to see on this is this holds here, another bounce and retest of this area to go and grab the liquidity of that 2% marker, you know. So that's good. The Euro USD, we'll take a little look at this. We can see we headed down towards 1%. We came back down into the entry area. Hopefully that this will still continue to to push down and go into that take partial area. We'll just keep tabs on this as well. That's the update so far, guys. I did see that, was it the GBP odd? I am watching this one at the minute. So I'll pause the video, I'll be back in a short while. The Euro odd is nearly at 2%. It's having a bit of a retracement at the minute. The Euro USD, we want to let it tank. Excuse me. We want to see it tank a little bit further down for us to be able to grab that 1% marker. Okay, I'll be back in a short while, guys. Gonna have a cup of tea. Right, okay, guys. So something has came up at the moment that I've got to go and attend to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, and we've got tabs on what we're seeing with the Euro odds, the Euro USD being in a setup as well at the minute, although it's come back into a drawdown area. We do have tabs on the GU, the UCAD, and the USD Swiss franc. Okay. I do normally like to have a cut-off time of around about 10 o'clock or 10:30 before getting in on another entry, okay? Because we'll go from the morning session into the mid-morning crossover into lunch. So we don't want to be looking for entries after 10 p.m., 10 a.m., sorry, for the London session, if I'm honest with you. So whatever is standing here now is what we'll keep an eye on. The ones that are in the basket for the 15-minute fibs, where we're waiting for the fibs to play out, I'll keep an eye on those, but I don't think I'll be looking for an entry unless an entry comes in on these before 10:30, okay? What we'll do is I'll pause the video now. I'll come back after 10:30. We'll then go into those orange baskets on the 15 minutes. We'll have a look at what has happened on that to see if there was an area where it could have come into a 50% of the premium discount, to then see if there was a condition of a separation candle, and then we'll see if there was an entry available. We'll do that at around about 10:30, because like I say, when you are trading this system, it's very mechanical. It's devised for you to trade the session open, okay, and a 2-hour window allowance. We're coming up that 2-hour window allowance now, so we do have two setups there. Pause video, we'll come back and then we'll dive back into the orange basket. We'll see what would have happened with those, and then we'll see what's happened with these two green ones, okay? So I'll be back in a short while, guys. Right, okay, guys. We are at the shut-off time. Okay, we're going to run down the list. We're going to go through the basket of what we were watching, okay? But again, anything that I set up now would not really be classed as a proper full-on trade, but we will set it up just to see what the outcome is, just for educational purposes. So the CAD-JPY, we did have the sweep of the Asian high. We come down, we come back in and touched 50%. Okay, so we're just going to do that from here to here. Was there a separation candle as we move this into the 5 minutes? Okay, yes, there was right here. We'll just mark that out. There was one separation candle right there. Then we had the touch. So what we can do, we can bring this into here, make it green. From there, guys, we are just doing, obviously, from the high down to that lower. We're looking for a sell-off. So again, you're looking for the bullish candle. And then what we're looking for is a bearish engulfing, which will be red. Let's get the wand out. Let's just take a look into here. We can see we got one here for sure, okay? However, this one here, this one here did engulf that, so there would have been a possible entry here on that candle there. Okay. Again, I spoke about this being a little bit too wide. In fact, it's not too bad. It's 10 pips to be fair. So we'll have this on here. We'll just get rid of this. We'll put this down to a 1 to 2. There's a 1 to 2. We'll get this to draw out partial area. So that would be the partial area. I'm just going to put this back into here. Again, we are heading into the area. I'll put that as a take partial. I'm just going to download that image. Just going to put this into the Discord as well. See what you boys got. He's got the card Swiss franc. And so I'll just drop this into here for the guys in there. Right, so Boy 1, he's got one setting up on one, looking at this at the moment. Keep an eye on these. Today probably won't get an entry as he's at work. We'll see how they play. So I'll just put eyes and a tick on that for you, mate. Right, so yeah, that's the CAD GPY has now looked as if it's ended. I'm going to go down the basket, Euro GPY. Again, we haven't had a huge pullback into the system, to be fair. But again, it's instant. This is instantly touched in with us on this candle here, so I'm not really confident with that setup, to be fair. Just have a look at this. Again, that would have been the high. Would have been the low. Possibly a setup there. Remember, guys, these are assets I don't normally trade. The Euro GPY is one that I wouldn't normally trade, to be fair. But again, we'll see what it does for educational purposes. This along here. We'll just write again. Take partial. Put this on here. And I'll just get this inside of the Discord as well. So I'm just going to update that in there as well for the guys in the Discord that's following along. Come back into the setup. I can actually put this into here as well. I'll make this green. So the GBP odd. Let's just make a lower lows, lower highs. The GBP, GPY Again, we are stuck within the range. The USD JPY, again, we have had a wick out of here, to be fair. I'm just going to get rid of this. We have had a slight wick out of this area. But again, it's pulled straight back in, you know. It's pulled straight back in. So I'm not overly confident, but for display purposes and educational purposes, we will take a look. Now we can see here, this one wouldn't be passing. You see, as we drop down where we've got the 15 minutes here, 15 minute anchor, we've came in after the lower here. We've instantly touched into the 50%. So that would be off the list. The one that we were watching, the GU, which were the conditions were coming in for a possible anchor setup. Too far gone, this one. Again, when we look at this, it is around about 30 odd pips. So that's gone, for my opinion. Same with this. It's looking to wick both sides of the fence. Too much of a return to weight on here. It's probably about 30 pips there as well, to be fair. In fact, no, there's only about 12. Again, we are after 10:30, and there's no really push into the 50%. So this is probably going to want to push higher. So I'm not interested in that. That's on the U card. The USD Swiss franc. Again, on this one, we've had to pull down, but we've had no retracement into the 50%. Okay. So for me, that's it for today, guys. We've worked over, and I'm going to pause the video again. We're just going to watch what these four do that I've got in the basket, the setup. Today, we've went over the fire entry basket. If you're watching this and you don't know what the fire entry basket is, you will go into this area here on the fire entry drop down, and you can watch this video right here. It's called Setting Up a Trading View Basket for the Fire Entry. Okay, you can go and watch that. And it basically, it's giving you the sections. We've called it the fire entry. We've got the symbols of all the pairs that we're going to be looking over. You've then got the 15-minute anchor box section. So when there's an anchor approaching, you can have that dragged from what the watch list is of assets into 15 minutes. If you get the 50% touch, okay, you're dropping these from orange into the 5-minute section here, and then you're seeing if there is a condition of that separation candle. If you get that criteria, you can drop them into this basket on the bottom. It's all one drop down, all one click system. Drop them into here, and then you can see, right, well, I've got the 50%, I've got the separation, I've got the anchor, I'm waiting for the 1-minute setup. And then from there, what you're doing is you're looking at these trades to sort of do the 1 to 2s. And as we look through these at the moment, the euro order's already done the 1%. It was more or less at 2%. We'll keep tabs on that. The euro USD on the setup at the moment, it looks like it's coming down into a take partial area. It's heading down towards that 1%. Okay, we do have a further target, which is 1 to 4.56 on this as well. We'll keep tabs on it. The CAD JPY we've just seen as a belated setup. Okay, however, it has gone and it's pushing down towards that 1% take partial area. Okay, and then we've just looked at the euro JPY as well. We'll look at the setup on here. There is a setup on there because we've had the anchor. There was very nearly a no entry. We did get the separation candle here, albeit it's just the one candle. Then it's touched instantly. Then we started to reject. When we started to reject, we were looking for a buying candle. Okay, and then a bearish engulfing. So there's the buying candle touch, bearish engulfing coming straight in after it. We got an entry on that candle. There was a little bit of drawdown, but then prices started to drop a bit. So there is 4 possible setups for today. Today's been a good session so far for the basis of we're doing a little bit of refinement on the system. We're introducing the fire entry basket and putting that on your trading view. Not only that, we're trying to open this up because we've got the refinement of a one basket system with sections. We're able to open up the telescopic sites and add some more assets in there, and then we can collect some data to see how these play out. And again, out of the four that are in that 1 minute setup, there is only really two assets in there, which is the Euro USD and the CAD JPY. I would never normally trade the Euro ORD or the Euro JPY on this system, but we can see what happens with this. When we come to the overview and the outcome of the trading today, we'll look at it from a bird's eye view. How long was the trades in profit, even if it went to an SL? Was there an area where you possibly could have taken profits, i.e., yes, it didn't go to a take partial area of that 1%, but was it in profit long enough to where it went towards the New York session and it was still in profits where you could have closed profits out? Because what you're setting up on a morning, you don't necessarily want it to be in a trade on the afternoon. Okay, so my take on this is, obviously, if you've got the 1% and then the TP, you want to be looking at around about a half a percent area on that. This has actually touched that. Okay, so if you were in or around this area come say at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and you were at this price level here, I would be looking to close out anyway, because price will normally reverse on itself when it comes to around about 11 o'clock in the morning. So what it's done prior to that build up, you will get some sort of a reversal. Bearing in mind as well, remember guys, especially on this Euro GBP that I'm looking at the moment, this has surpassed the half 10 setup area. The setup on here came bang on half past, so I wouldn't have possibly entered this properly, simply for two reasons. One, it's after half 10 in the morning, and number two, it's not one that I would normally have in my basket of choice. Okay, so for now I'm going to pause the video, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and revisit on what's going on a little bit later. Okay guys, I'll speak to you a little bit later. Right, so we've hit a 2% winner, Euro odd, and let's see what the Euro USD is doing. Euro USD is not quite coming down to the partial just yet, but I would probably close that off if I was in on an entry. Like I say, going back on what I said previously, it's at 25% or 50% of the initial move of the 1 to 2 of the halfway point. So I would be happy at closing that out if I was in on a live trade on it at the moment. The CAD JPY, again, we have hit a take partial area. Fantastic. So again, another great trade. So you've got the tick, and you would have had money on the table with that as well. The Euro JPY, again, I'd be happy to close that out if I was in on a trade, because you don't want to be going into the US session with trades on this. Okay, so again, very successful day to day. What I'm going to do is I'll pause the video for now. I'll see what the final outcome of this is a bit later, and then by the time you're watching this, the video will have ended and I've uploaded it. Okay, so at the moment, going on what we're seeing, the CAD JPY has gone to a take partial. The Euro USD is about halfway towards the take partial at the moment. The Euro odd, we've hit 2% winner. So far, so good today, guys. Okay, I'll see you in a short while. All right, okay, guys. So I'm going to end the stream here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you why we have a cut-off time. Okay, when you're looking at a London session, you only want to do the first 2 hours of the session. And I'm going to show you exactly why that is, because normally when you get in on an entry and price is moving the way you want, when you get towards the UK dinner time, at least before the AM session of the New York, price will start to reverse. Okay, so we know we hit 2% on the Euro odd. CAD JPY, and we just come into that we can see we hit a take partial area, so there was a 1% secured on that, which is good. But look at that, look at what's happening now. We'll come towards dinner time. Prices now turning on us. So we're 1% on the Canadian dollar. Euro USD, we can see we are at 1%. We've been at the 1% area. So again, we could have had that bagged on there on a 1%. The Euro GBP again, we didn't quite come down to the take partial area, but we are starting to turn on the setup. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. So basically, what could have been bagged at the out of the four entries, you could have had a 1% on the Euro USD. You could have had 1% or take partial, if you want to call it that, on the KGPY. The Euro odd, certainly at 2% there. However, we did mark up further targets on the Euro odd, which was a 1 to 3.89. 1 to 2%. The 2% is a low hanging fruit. I did mention earlier this morning that we could return to this New York session high. Okay. If we do get to this area, I'll let everybody know that is in the Discord. It's around 20 pips away from hitting that, but the volume is coming in to the market at the minute for if to push towards that, and it is starting to go there. So today, certainly for now, two lots of 1% and then a 2% winner here. That's 4%. This one going from that 2% could be going to let's take a look. It was 3.89 late night again, guys. So that 3.89 take off that 2%, so 1% to 3.89. If that does go to that could have been 5 towards 5.89. Only if that hits this, okay? So I'm going to call that there. Today's been a good session with regards to following. We've done the fire entry basket. We've done the sections to set up. You can see that in the previous video as I close this off. If you're seeing this in the Discord, you can go down into the fire entry system area where I go over the mechanics and so much more on that video for the fire entry basket. Is here on how to install and get that set up the way you want to. Okay, again, guys, if you've not already seen, please go into the news watch, have a watch through the news watch video, and also we have the approach to risk management on what you should be doing with regards to the trading on this setup. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog for today. Been loads of good information given, some good trades there on the setups, and we look forward. I'm not sure if I'll get into a New York session. I might see if I can get that done today. If not, we'll certainly be coming into it tomorrow. When we get further into the month, okay, we're heading into February, I will be looking to start to do more with this stuff. Okay, it's just I want the Christmas and New Year, it's obviously settled. We've come out of that. We are coming into the inauguration of President Trump in the coming week. So again, there's going to be a little bit of market volatility and volume coming in and out there. So I want things to settle properly before I sort of integrate everything fully with this. Okay. So again, I normally, just to close this off, I do normally only trade the Euro USD, the GUSD, the USD CAD, excuse me, the USD CAD, and maybe the USD JPY. But we have started filtering in a lot more assets on this because we can just reset this each day, put a basket of assets into the symbol area in the blue. When the anchor is presenting itself, we come to the 15 minutes. When we get the 50% trigger, we drop them into the 5 minutes. When we get into the 5 minute, we see the condition is met with a separation candle. We drop those ones into the 1 minute setup. and then we change the color to green to see if there's an entry. And this is the best way to keep everything in a one drop down menu system where you can control everything rather than clicking on loads of different assets here, there, and everywhere in separate baskets. It's an all-in-one basket, it's an all-in-one screen, and it's the way forward, guys. Okay, please, as always, drop your comment if you're watching it on YouTube. Drop your comment if you're watching it in the Discord. Please give it the thumbs up, like, share, and all that good stuff. Okay, guys, I'll see you all on the next one. This is John, Mr. Forex Fire, out.